Hi, I'm Jared Falk and welcome to the bonus video lesson on drum setup and posture. Here we're going to go over the essentials that you need to know in order to begin playing the drums. As you can see here, all I have set up is my drum throne. I like to sit high enough that my knees are just slightly bent. This seems to be popular among many drummers and I found it to be quite comfortable myself. From here, I like to set up my drum pedals first. So I simply move my feet into a comfortable position. Wherever they feel best, that is where I place both pedals. Next, I simply attach the bass drum to the bass drum pedal, and I put my hi-hats onto the stand. Okay, next we bring in the snare drum. This should be right in front of you. Now, I like to have it tilted a little bit towards me, but some drummers prefer to have it totally flat, and some like to have it tilted slightly forward. It all depends on what works best for you. Keep in mind that the angle may require you to adjust height slightly. If it is tilted towards you, it can be a little higher as you can comfortably strike the surface. If it is flat or tilted forwards, you may need to lower it in order to be able to strike it without hitting the rim every time. Next, I like to bring in my rack toms. They're usually mounted off of the bass drum, but they can also be mounted off of cymbal stands. I'll set mine up now. Okay, they're in a good position there. Now we just bring in the floor tom and make sure that it's in a comfortable position as well. As you can see, I like to have it set up so that all three toms are spaced fairly tight. This way I can move around the toms quite easily. Now it's time to bring in the cymbals. Most beginner drum sets will feature hi-hats, a ride, and a crash cymbal. We've already got the hi-hat set up, so now let's add the ride cymbal on the other side of the kit. I like to tilt this slightly so that I can reach the bell without having to reach too far. Finally, we're going to add a crash cymbal. If your kit didn't have one of these, that's okay. You can just use the ride cymbal to crash for now. However, I recommend you eventually get one of these. I'll set it up now. Okay, now look how everything is set up here. My feet are comfortable, I can easily play the snare drum and all three toms, and all the cymbals are in reach. Now, a lot of beginners ask me, how high should my hi-hats be? Well, that all depends on your personal preference. I like to have mine about, 6 to 8 inches above my snare drum. That seems to be pretty standard, and it's a great place to start. Eventually, you may want to try a few different positions and see if anything works better for you. One other important thing I want to talk to you about is drum posture. Whenever you're playing drums, it is important that you sit up and have your arms in a comfortable position. If you're slouched over, you can really do a lot of damage to your back over time. Also, if your arms are in an uncomfortable position, it's going to affect your speed, your endurance, and your comfort. I recommend you start by just dropping your arms to your side like this, then lift them up at the elbows and move them into position. Notice how my shoulders aren't doing any extra work. My arms aren't out like this. I can remain relaxed and reach the important parts of my drum set. Well, that's it for now. Go set up your drums so you can get started playing them.